Good morning, everyone. So this week we are going to spend some time looking at prefixes. And to get us started, I just wanted to go over some definitions that I know you've heard before, but we're just going to go over them. So as an example, I wrote up the word disagreement. And if we break up the word, we might find a prefix. It comes before the root and it has some meaning that it adds to the word, but it doesn't mean anything on its own. It's not a word. So if I just say dis, that doesn't mean anything. But if I add it to disagree, it means I do not agree. Then we get to the root word. The root word is probably the most important part. It has no prefix, it has no suffix. It can't be shortened, like I can't say ag, that's not a word. I can't say re, that's not a word. But together, it has its own meaning. So if I agree, that means that I think the same thing you think. Then there's the suffix, meant. In this word, meant adds something that exists. So an agreement is like a written document or something that says that we agree to something. The suffix is a group of letters that comes after the root. So one way that we can figure out if a word is already a root or if it has a prefix or suffix is by breaking it down and seeing if it makes sense. So here are some examples. Disrespect. If I look for some parts of the word that I already know, I know respect, and I can't really shorten respect. It already exists on its own. And respect means that I treat someone with the way that I would like to be treated. If I add dis, it's the opposite. So disrespect has a prefix and it has a root word. Now, these words all have dis, but some may not actually be root words with a prefix. So for example, disc. If I take away the dis, this is not a root word. It doesn't exist on its own. Disc is one word together. So it doesn't actually have a prefix, even though dis is a prefix sometimes. Next, distant. Let's try that same rule again. If I look for a part of the word that I know, tent, I don't know if that's a word. I might look it up in a dictionary. If I look it up, it doesn't actually mean anything in the word distant. Tent doesn't mean anything on its own. So distant is a word, but tent is not. So this one does not have a prefix. Next, disloyal. If I look for a part of a word I know, I can cover dis and I get loyal. I know loyal means that I'm going to stick by you no matter what, and I'm going to respect you and follow you, etc. So loyal is a word, and if I add dis to the front of it, it means that I'm not loyal. So this one does have a prefix and a root. Let's keep going. Disney, again, it has a dis, but if I get rid of the dis, I just get knee, and N-E-Y is not a word that means something in this word Disney. So even though it has the dis, Disney is one word altogether. This is one word. Dislike. Now you guys try these last two. What do you think? Dislike. I know the word like, and I know dis is a prefix that adds meaning to it. So if you were thinking this one has a prefix and a root word, you're right. Dislike, or just like. Last one. Now I know this one you've probably heard a lot on the news and at home, disinfect. If I look for a part of a word that I know, I get the root word infect. If I infect something, it means that I get germs on it, I get something sick. If I add dis, it means that I'm not infecting. So if I disinfect my room, it means I'm cleaning it so that I don't infect it. We're gonna spend this week thinking about different prefixes, and now you're gonna do a form, or you're gonna do an activity that gives you some practice with breaking up the root word from the prefix or the root word from the suffix. Bye.